Hi, this is Dr. Heather with Feather Communications, wanting to share with you today some tips about job interview confidence. I did a previous video that talked about building confidence during your job search, but these are tips for building confidence during the actual interview. So I want to make sure that you feel confident going into that job interview and really feeling like you can put your best foot forward, because that's absolutely vital to your job searching success. So my first tip is, number one, do your homework. Do your homework. Make sure you look the company up online, which hopefully you've already done. Make sure you know their mission statement, their vision statement, how long they've been in business, products, services they produce, and really what sets them apart from their competition. That's going to be really important, because most likely one of your interview questions is going to be, tell us what you know about our company. And if you don't have anything to say, or you don't have anything intelligent to say about the company that shows that you did your research and did your homework, it's not going to look very good during the interview. So do your homework. Tip number two is to practice interview questions. Okay, I highly suggest practicing these with somebody. But if you don't, at least at the bare minimum, look some up online and be sure that you know how you're going to respond to those questions. Now, can you practice for every single interview question they're going to ask you? Absolutely not. But the point is to understand and to think about how you're going to answer the typical interview questions. So the first one is, tell me about yourself. The second one, tell me about your strengths. Tell me about a time when you worked with a customer and it was challenging, or you had to solve a problem. Questions like that. Make sure that you kind of have a prepared response, but not so prepared that you come off rehearsed, but know what you're going to say to some of those typical interview questions. Tip number three is, don't be squirmy. And I know this is kind of funny, but it really means, like, don't rock back and forth in your chair. Don't go like this with your pen the whole time. Don't fidget. Don't play with your hair. Just don't be squirmy, and understand that all of us have those types of things that we do. So being aware of them is the first step. What I like to do, because if you haven't noticed from watching a lot of these videos, I talk a lot with my hands. My hands are moving all of the time. So that's just how I talk, but I try really hard, especially during an interview scenario, to hang on to something like a notepad or a pen, not clicking it, but just hanging on to something, because it tends to ground me. So don't be squirmy. Tip number four is to breathe. Obviously, most of us are breathing all of the time, and we don't have to concentrate on it. However, when you're nervous and in a situation like that, think about when you go to the dentist or the doctor, or you're in a nerve-wracking situation, you kind of start holding your breath. So you might do that during an interview also. And did you know that if you just take like 2 or 3 deep breaths, it just calms you down. So don't forget to breathe. And my last tip is, don't be too hard on yourself. If they ask you something and you think, oh, I completely blew the response to that question, and you keep dwelling on it up here, as the interview keeps going on, things are just going to spiral. So if you happen to have given an answer that you think, that wasn't ideal, that's okay. Just move on. Don't worry about it. So don't be hard on yourself. And every single interview that you go to is an opportunity for learning, and it's an opportunity to improve for the next time. So think about those tips. I will put these tips in the comment section. So again, do your homework, practice your interview questions, don't be squirmy, make sure you breathe, and don't be too hard on yourself if you think that you gave a less than stellar response. Because a lot of the times it's worse in our own heads than it actually is what you said. So just be certain that you have that confidence going into the job interview. Because if you don't, chances are you're not going to get that job opportunity. So be confident, go out there, nail that job interview, and learn from each job interview experience. So again, it's Dr. Heather with Feather Communications, and if you have any resume, cover letter, or job searching ideas or questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them for you. Thank you.